Day 73. I tell you, I'm just sadly disappointed in the efforts of BP, and I'm hoping and praying that this daggone well or both wells that they're drilling right now is going to work. There's a hurricane in the Gulf right now, and you know, you got 25,000 workers on the beaches, and that's a noble effort, but what's washing up on the beaches is simply easy to clean up. It's what's down in the water that's worrying me. And this guy down in one of these parishes that's really concerned about the wetlands, I mean, he has a viable point here. Why in the world are we trying to clean up beaches when we should be stopping this stuff from going into the wetlands? You know, I mean, leave the beaches to be cleaned up by the local municipalities, man. You know, that's an easy cleanup. And you know, you take a grader out there, clean it off of there, and it's gone. You know, but you know, here in the wetlands, it's getting down into the, down into what is our ecosystem. You know, and the fact that this oil is going to be, you know, if we stop this well right now, it's still going to be out there for the next several months. And it's, again, you know, I hope and pray that the wells that are being drilled right now, and I can't believe we're drilling 2 more wells. I mean, we've seen what kind of problem we've had with 1 well. I think, you know, drilling 1 well would have been enough. You know, if we could intercept this thing and plug it at the bottom, that's fine, you know. And I can't believe we can't develop some sort of apparatus that can fit over that daggone well and actually clamp to the flange or something, you know, or actually work as a flange and actually flange the top of the well and somehow grab a hold of the existing flange and pull this thing tight enough to get a good seal. You know, I can't believe we can't get a good seal down there. You know, I don't know. This is mind-boggling. I mean, our government seems to have their hands tied by whatever political problems we're having. I've never seen a problem where you can't solve it on a major scale. This is war. This is outright war, and I don't feel like we're putting in the effort that we should be to maintain a containment of this oil. This oil is just freely going where it wants to go. And dispersants, I don't care what you got out there, you know, if you can funnel it up to the surface right at where it's got to come up and bring it up. I know we got currents out there and everything else, but something has to be done on a grand scale. Man, we're just like micromanaging this oil spill, you know, and a micromanagement of an oil spill is not the way, I don't think that's the way to go about it, man. I mean, surely BP's got their responsibility to cap the well, but that seems to be really all they're doing. They either, you know, the booms, again, booms, that's a fallacy. I mean, this oil's going right underneath the booms. You got waves. Booms don't work in waves. They don't work. It's got to be glass smooth for a boom to work. You know, these barges, you know, that works. You know, that's in the water a little bit there, you know, and if you could put up some sort of barrier that can stop the deep flowing oil from coming in the shore or coming into the wetlands, I think you've created some sort of barrier. But right now, we might as well not be doing anything. I mean, and the fact that y'all can say, or BP can say, that they're cleaning up so many barrels a day, or they're, you know, somehow capturing, you know, a certain amount, and they're skimming a certain amount, it is a needle in a haystack. And they know it. All it is, you know, 25,000, we got 25,000. I think you ought to have 100,000 people working out there right now. I mean, 25,000 isn't enough. And the fact you've got 40,000 employees that work for BP, and these people live down in this area, I think they feel like their hands are tied. They can't do anything to stop this thing. All I can say is, you know, from my perspective, where I'm at, again, if I cause an environmental spill or a hazard, I've got to take care of it. Plain and simple. I have to carry insurance to take care of it. I have to make sure it's taken care of. But before I even get to that point, whatever I do has to have a contingency program, and it has to be one that's viable, that works. You know, walruses or whatever creatures that don't even live in the matter of fact, you know, I just realized the blue tuna, I mean, is the blue tuna of the Gulf, is it the blue tuna, I believe? It actually spawns in the Gulf, and if we don't have a spawning ground for the blue tuna, we lose the blue tuna. You know, that just blows my mind. You know, I can't believe we're able to not get a grasp of this. I mean, at 73 days, we ought to be at least at a point right now where this thing is barely leaking into the ocean. You know, whatever apparatus, the engineers, the scientists, somebody ain't thinking outside the box. And I remember, you know, not too far in the past, that the way national security ought to think is outside the box. And if we don't have engineers and scientists that can do that, I mean, something is broken down in our world. I mean, we've pushed ourselves back to the Industrial Revolution, where there was so much damage to our environment 100 years ago that it took us 100 years to really get to the point where we were cleaning up, you know, our act. But I mean, this spill has set us back another 100 years, and I'm just thinking about all the people out there now that are thinking in their head, well, heck, you know, if I have a minor spill, you know, or hazard, you know, or problem, you know, some environmental problem, it pales in comparison to the oil spill. Why should I worry about it? I mean, you know, of course Mother Nature will clean itself up, you know, and whether or not we're on this earth or not, you know, it's not going to make a difference as far as, you know, time, you know, a billion years from now.